All right, we're gonna make this quick. The children have let me down. Been on the trad list less than a week, and already I'm regretting it. Hate to say it, but my first instincts were right. Let's see how this markup does on this paper. Oh, that's pretty bright. Okay, yeah, you can see that, okay. All right. What is this? What do we see here? I don't even want to discuss the field. I'm generally concerned when I see a field that large in copper for a lot of reasons. We're going to ignore that. We're going to focus on this right here. And then what we're going to focus on first is the flow rate going into this section right here. It's 4 pans wide, so we know that is 60 inches, all right? That's half a square. I don't know how much how far it is to the ridge, but let's say it's at least a square. Let's say it's 120. So we get a full square. That'll be an easy, I'm sorry, 120 plus another 60, so 180. Yeah, 15, 16 feet to the ridge. I don't know. I can't, this thing looks huge. It could be right above us. If it's right above us, it's kind of null and void. You can get away with something like this, but if it's draining a lot, and we're in a snow area, and you get an ice sheet on this that's stopped by this seam, and it builds up, and it builds up, and it builds up, all of a sudden you have a vessel here. And if you turn this to represent the pitch that I'll have to draw this in profile, but essentially there's no way around the formula for this. It's just like calculating a gutter size or a scupper size. Let's assume it's like a 412. And we have, this is going to be our, it's going to be our Z axis, which is the depth of the vessel. Right, so depth of the vessel is going to be from like here to here, because we get kind of a hard stop there. And that's really all the information we need. And then of course, how much area is draining into this, which we know is, we're going to assume 100 foot squared, or also known to roofers as 1 square. There's a table for this that I am not going to read. I instead will refer you to buy the DIN specification book from some German guys. Don't need it. We have a rule of thumb when we're doing this. Make it just much easier on us. So let's just draw in our max flood. let's say worst case scenario, we get an ice block right here that's piled up 6 inches high, worst case scenario. I always like to draw that in on the backstop of any chimney as my max flood line and project straight out from there. Always. That would be like that would be where you start your apron if you were lapping shingles onto this. The same applies to standing seam. You want to come up another 3-4 inches above that max to start this apron. Now, when you take your cheek of the chimney like this and cut it up with a big prism like you did, well, a prism raked uphill. I'm sorry, here, let me get that profile right. So it's, yeah, that'll represent it. On profile, when you get to the new flood line of the vessel, that same volume of water still has to fit inside here, right? Like, you take your original area and how much water it could handle. By adding that big prism in here, all you've done is cut the volume that this thing can handle by that much and pushed it that much closer to the head right here. The way around that, I mean, yeah, this can still flood. This thing can continue to flood. That's why I was saying, I know y'all probably think I'm crazy, what's the flow rate of the vessel, but if you get a little snow block right here with that big prism like you have it for no fucking reason, the flood can come beyond your check seam back here very, very easily. So when you're sizing these things, I mean, really you just need a little bitty prism. Like, in fact, the way I would do this one is I would go min about like that, and you're coming out close to that 6-inch point. That way you don't have to have that big high side. Now, if you want to go up higher and flat after that, so be it. But we've cut out a lot less volume out of the flood drawback on this thing by getting rid of that big chunkin' prism right there. My children disappoint me. I'm not even gonna get into the sequence. That's the other thing that's messed up about this is the fold sequence. Like, well, when I saw this in the process photos, this guy was laid over. This was trimmed and turned up. This pan was already in. Like, this should go in next. You either do one or the other. Like, you run a whole line to a chalk line and then you turn it all up just like you're doing a hip. You don't piecemeal it in like it's been done here. I mean, these are fine. You can do break seams. All they do is block ice. I mean, I would have given them a little more of a sweep to them unless it had a specific function there. I don't know, maybe it was your material length or something. I mean, you show that you know how to fold. That's what I see here is someone that knows how to fold, but not how to design seam plans or sequences really well yet. So, I mean, it's getting along, but this is troubling. Like, I wouldn't let this, yeah. It shows a fundamental misunderstanding of the roofing, roof plumbing 101 book. I'll say that. Newer-Becker, Daughtery, any of the sheet metal vessel work is going to find this design lacking. based on our design principles.